Hello, Bryan Colter here, Evolutionary Astrologer, for another horoscope report for the upcoming Aries full moon that happens on October 9th, but we'll be discussing the energy of the next couple weeks because we're in this preparatory phase for the upcoming eclipse season, which starts October 25th, and then the next eclipse will be on November 8th, which is election day. Oh, that's going to be pretty crazy. So this eclipse season is going to be very tense, and we're preparing for that. And why it's so tense is basically because Saturn-Uranus square has been happening all throughout 2021 and 2022. They've been coming into contact with each other through the 90-degree angle, the square, many times. And this is really the last stand, if you will. They're both at 18 degrees of their signs, and that friction-based aspect being the square. And the energy of Saturn and Uranus, they're just very different from each other, so they kind of have a natural friction between them, but we add even more friction with the square. That's not to say they can't find a happy integration, but really the purpose of this event, at least through the collective, what we're learning, and that's what evolutionary astrology really wants to focus on, like what is the test we're taking, and what's the problem we're trying to solve here. It's really the tension between the old and the new, the outdated habits of the past, and then the new world we're trying to create and enter into. And then, centralization, decentralization, control, freedom, these things really pop up with these two planets interacting. And since this is the last hurrah with these two planets happening during the eclipse season, in the wise words of Samuel L. Jackson from Jurassic Park, hold on to your butts, So here we are preparing for what's going to happen. A lot of this is going to be quite obvious within the collective politically, especially since this is happening on election day, at least the second eclipse, and then potentially financially as well. The U.S. is going through their Pluto return in their second house of securities and finances and money and survival, really. So this could affect those things, also the war that's going on. And then people really fighting back from authorities of control. We're already seeing that. We have been seeing that all over the world. I suspect that will continue. So this is all happening before a major transitional shift starting in 2023, specifically March of 2023, as the slowest moving planet, Pluto, finally enters a new sign for the first time since 2008. Okay, it'll be entering into Aquarius. So from 2023 to 2026, we have the three slowest moving planets, Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus, all changing signs within that 3-year span, which is significant because the amount of time that these planets spend in a sign ranges, of course, anywhere from about 9-ish years to about 15 or 16 years. They'll stay in a sign. So for all three of them to be changing sign within 3 years into fire and air signs suggest a major change in the next few years. So we're setting the table for that. This kind of last tension point between these planets is kind of it's a period of great change, especially during the eclipses, but it's kind of like the death throes of the stuck in ways, because we're making way for something new. And that first shock wave of new starts in March of 2023. That month in particular is super significant because Pluto's entering Aquarius. We also have Saturn, which moves pretty slow in its own right, finally entering Pisces in that same month. So it's going to look and feel a lot different then. So we're just holding on to our butts. We're going to ride out the storm. Meanwhile, during this Aries full moon, I see as a period of preparation for what's to come. So let's go ahead and dive into the charts here. Let me bring it up. So as you can see here, we have Saturn over here at 18 degrees of Aquarius in that very tight square with Uranus and 18 degrees of Taurus. So that's the headliner. Meanwhile, we have this full moon. Moon is in Aries opposed to Libra Sun. Here we are in Libra season. Venus is also in Libra, which is her own sign. So a lot of Libra energy, a lot of Aries energy. We also have Jupiter in Aries right near this Neptune, and they're both opposed Mercury and Virgo. Repeat all that back to me. Yeah, I know it's a lot, but these are the symbols we're going to be juggling here. Now, first of all, this Aries full moon, this is a passionate moon because moon represents heart, it represents soul, it represents our emotions. And here it is in the fire sign, the sign of the warrior, the daredevil, the pioneer, wanting to charge forth into battle like a warrior can. And since moon is about heart and soul, we're trying to cultivate the soul of a warrior for good or for bad. And people are going to feel, in general, amongst the collective, are going to feel quite passionate about whatever they believe, and the potency of the emotions that people will feel on average will be much stronger than normal. That's just a feature of the full moon. The moon is strongest. The energy of the moon, and since it affects our heart and our subjective reality, people tend to be a little bit more impulsive and reactive, especially when it's in the sign of Aries, which is the sign of action. Now, putting it negatively, we could be seeing a lot of, anger and rage and irritation. Also, another shadow side of Aries would be headstrong idiocy and impulsivity, asking or acting before asking questions and, is susceptible to foot and mouth moments and all that. But that's stating it negatively. But how do we work with it positively? Well, contemplate and do our best to feel the positive emotions associated with the warrior, which is strength, resilience, agency, independence, courage, bravery. So cultivating those high virtues of the warrior is the evolutionary path now. The way I like to work with opposite signs is figure out how we can find a balance between these two very, very different energies. Where do they integrate? Here we find, Libra and Venus, the goddess of love. This is about keeping and making peace. This is about being the diplomat. This is a relational sign. It's about connecting with others. Meanwhile, the warrior is to stand up for yourself, to protect the weak and defenseless, to charge forth into battle, as I was saying. So obviously very different energy signatures and agendas and motivations. But we can find integration between the two, which is basically the Venus is the goddess of peace in the sign of the lover, Libra. So it's really about trying to embody the peaceful warrior. And I'll also say that there's a lot of mental energy here because Libra is an air sign. It's on the mental plane. And Mercury is of the mind. It's how we think. It's how we talk. And it's our thoughts. And here it is in its own sign of Virgo. And whenever a planet's in its own sign, it's very, very strong. So there's a lot of mental energy going on right now, especially too with Mars in Gemini, the other sign Mercury rules. There's a lot of energy around our thoughts and information. It's a period of time where we're likely to get data dumped, and it's going to be enough to keep our head spinning. But it's like, how can we reel that in, the spinning head, into the tranquil mind? How can we find balance within ourselves and cultivate this peaceful warrior? Yes, but mindful warrior. And I actually found this quote that's really beautiful for this time. It's by Bodhi Sanders. He's an author, a best-selling author. He wrote a bunch of books about martial arts philosophy and stuff like this. But the quote is, "A calm warrior is a mindful warrior, and a mindful warrior is a rational warrior." And I love that quote for this set of energies here with this full moon. So a calm warrior, so calm, you have Venus, the goddess of peace, and in opposition with Aries, the warrior. Okay, the calm warrior is a mindful warrior. As I said, Libra is on the mental plane, strengthened on the mental plane by this Mercury in Virgo. And then he goes on to say a mindful warrior is a rational warrior. And Mercury in Virgo, it's one of its strong suits actually, is to stay rational. And with the full moon in the passionate sign, as I said, people will be more reactive in general, more emotional. And, I did say this is a period of preparation. We're headed into a storm. I'm going to use a cliche here, but I think a good evolutionary goal for this next couple weeks is to enter into the calm before the storm. The storm's coming. How can we maintain this mindful warrior and become the eye of the storm and make a perpetual peace treaty with chaos, and learn how to meditate about 500 times a day, every 2 seconds, and try to catch the earliest stages of a culmination of attention within your psyche, and just learn when to breathe in, breathe out, be in your body, be in your mind. Of course, we have feelings. That's part of the human experience. But the more anger, fear-based subset of emotions, which are stress-based, which will, if life is experienced that way, continually over time creates disease in the physical body, because about 80% of physical diseases first start in somebody's emotional body and thought body, but especially the emotional body, the astral body, whatever you want to call it. And if somebody has harmful emotions and thoughts over long periods of time, it manifests as physical diseases. So, anger and frustration and fear, there's a lot to be afraid about now. I'm compassionate to that, but this is a more damaging way of working with this energy. And instead, recognize the emotions are there, but be more centered in the mindful warrior, the peaceful warrior, in the rational mind, looking at things objectively. Just imagine the warrior who is preparing for a big battle he knows is going to happen the next day. And there he is in his tent, and he's cleaning and polishing his armor with a high attention to detail. His mind is laser sharp focused. He's in the zone, and he has his sharpening stone, and he's just very slowly sharpening his sword, almost meditatively, almost ceremonially. He's preparing for battle. And that's what this period of time feels like, preparing for battle and staying in the flow state, in that inner peace, the mindful warrior. Now, obviously, we aren't headed into a bloody, violent battle, okay? This feels more like a war of consciousness or a spiritual warfare. And it's going to be much easier to enter into the eclipse season, the upcoming storm, so to speak, if we enter into it with a state of tranquility and peace and harmony within us, instead of just bracing for impact in this more fight, flight, or freeze. This is a story I've told before on this channel, but I feel inspired to do so again. There was a few years ago when I was in a car accident, and I was the passenger in the car, and we ended up doing 360s down the freeway. We totally lost control, and my side of the car, which I was kind of squished into because it was a tiny little Miata and I'm a big guy, my side of the car was careening towards a cement wall. So it was very scary, obviously. And luckily in that moment, I was able to, I don't know how, I entered this sort of warrior mind, meditative state where I just knew to be relaxed, kind of ragdoll my way through it. And I knew if I went into fight, flight, or freeze, I would have sustained maximum damage. So I entered into it with the warrior mind, the calm warrior, okay? And I kind of flopped into it. I did sustain some injuries, but I suspect, they were very minor. I suspect they were far less than had I, tensed, braced for impact. So, or hold on to your butts, So we're trying to ragdoll our way into this eclipse season, which is going to be shocking in a lot of ways. We're probably going to see a lot of disharmony, a lot of people fighting, disagreeing with each other, non-believing. It's going to be wild. So now we just get into warrior mind. So I said kind of a war of consciousness. It's like, can we enter into this chaos whilst also remaining at a high level of consciousness? Because I talk about consciousness all the time because I believe, and this sounds super dogmatic, but I believe consciousness is everything. It's all that matters. So no matter how much suffering we endure in a global stage or in our personal life, it's like, how can I face that suffering while remaining in love and light and not into fear, anger, rage, pride? Of course, those emotions tend to stem from pride and a lot of times. So am I going to come from my egoic human personality, or am I going to allow my soul energy, my life light, to shine through my human personality in a more translucent way and have a positive effect on the world around me? And I believe that you don't even have to really be actually doing anything out there in the world for the greater good through service or whatever to have a positive effect in the lives of others. Service to others and taking action in the world is good. I'm not trying to say it's not a good thing. But what I am saying is if we can operate at a high level of consciousness, we can affect positively the lives of many, many people. So the work of David R. Hawkins, who created the map of consciousness, I talk about him quite often. He created a scale of consciousness from 0 to 1,000, 1,000 being Christ consciousness, or let's say the highest level of consciousness we can attain as a soul incarnate in a human body. And then everything below 200 is the more egoic expressions of human behavior. And everything plus 200 is inching its way up towards eventually enlightenment. And what he discovered is one human being who averages a consciousness calibration of 700, which he called, that's when you first reach enlightenment, one person who's enlightened counterbalances 70 million people in the world who average a sub 200 level consciousness. And about 85% of the human population operates at that critical level, below that critical level of 200, which is kind of a depressing statistic that 85% of people are in that prideful fear state most of the time. But the optimistic perspective is if there's one individual, just one, that is enlightened, he counterbalances 70 million of those people. And even if he's just meditating in a cave somewhere in the world 22 hours a day, and he's floating in the air and glowing white, and he's only focused on his spiritual path and raising his consciousness when he's not down in the marketplace, rolling up his sleeves, trying to make it real in other people's lives. He's just meditating. He's helping more people than almost anyone on the planet because, there's very few people that actually attain that level, but that just puts it into perspective. Consciousness is everything. So can I enter this through the peaceful, mindful warrior, okay, with an exacting, rational mind, seeing the truth for what it is, okay? You also have this Mercury, as I said before, opposed Neptune, which puts a real consciousness, spiritual emphasis on what I've been talking about here. But then you also have Jupiter opposite the Mercury. And Jupiter is the faith builder. It's the planet of optimism. So with an overactive mercurial mind, meanwhile, we're getting data dumped. Oh, it makes your head spin. And seeing the world as it is, it's so easy to get into this more negative, judgmental place. And it's like, don't have much hope for humanity, But Jupiter's saying, even though it's hard through an opposition, the path forward to raise your consciousness is like Peter Pan, think happy thoughts. If you want to fly, at plus 200 level consciousness, stay in positivity, okay? Because how you think shapes how you perceive reality. And if you want to stay at that high level, thinking positively is a good place to start. So the storm is coming, and we're in this preparatory phase to really cultivate within us the mindful warrior, and instead of manifesting, the mindless worrier. And that's the core evolutionary intention, with the goal being to expand our consciousness. Now, the meditation we're going to do here is one of my absolute all-time favorite meditations. It's called the Twin Hearts Meditation. This was created by Master Choa Kuk Sui, and I'm going to do my variation of it here. And this is actually a meditation. This is a bit of a premature announcement, but starting probably in November, I'm going to start doing weekly or bi-weekly guided meditations live on Zoom, which is free for everybody who wants to come. I'll announce that later. But this meditation is super important. It's called Twin Hearts for Peace and Illumination. And I feel like the cultivation of internal peace is so important right now during this Libra season, but also world peace. And this is a great meditation to balance out the twin hearts, which is the heart chakra and the crown chakra, so we can be an embodiment of peace in the world. Now, this meditation is one of the ones I recommend for people to practice daily. However, if you decide you want to practice this one every day, this meditation floods your system with a lot of spiritual energy. So if you decide you want to practice, if you practice it just once, no big deal. Don't worry about it. But if you practice it every day, be sure to do a little bit of light exercise. Doesn't have to be much before the meditation, and light exercise after the meditation if you practice it every day. Because if you don't move a little bit before and after, it can just be as simple as a few jumping jacks, maybe whatever, 5 minutes of light movement. If you don't do that with regular practice of this meditation, then you can manifest what's called pranic congestion in your etheric body because you're flooding your system with so much energy. So this couples great with exercise before and after. But again, it's one of my favorite meditations. And I use a technology called binaural beats. So for best results, use headphones. And let me know what you think about the meditation below in the comments. Enjoy. And we'll start with a divine invocation to the Supreme God, to my spiritual teacher, to all the spiritual teachers, to the archangels of the elements, Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, and Uriel, as well as to my guardian angel, who's been with me since the beginning of time, and to all the spiritual helpers and great ones. We humbly invoke for divine guidance, divine love, illumination, divine oneness, divine bliss, divine help, and divine protection. We thank you in full faith. Silently repeat after me. I am that I am. I am not the body. I am not the emotions. I am not the thoughts. I am not the mind. The mind is just a subtle instrument of the soul. I am the soul. I am a spiritual being of divine intelligence, divine love, and divine power. I am one with the higher soul. I am that I am. I am one with the divine spark. I am a child of God. I am connected with God. I am one with God. I am one with all. Be aware of your heart. And remember a happy event that happened in your life when you experienced immense joy and bliss and love and connection. And remember this experience as if it's happening again. And feel all those beautiful emotions. Your heart center is a being of love. Silently tell your heart words of love and sweetness. And then wait for the response. The love now focus on the crown of the head, the divine heart. It's a divine being of love. And remember another happy event that you had in your life and relive it. Feel the emotions. And smile at your crown chakra. And now raise your hands, palms facing outwards at about chest level. And visualize planet Earth as the size of a small ball, like a baseball, in front of your palms. And silently say to yourself, God, make me an instrument of your peace. And feel the inner peace within you. Allow yourself to be a channel for this divine peace. And feel it flowing from your heart, down your arms, into your hands, and flowing to the earth in front of you. Bless the earth with peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Feel this divine love within you and allow yourself to be a channel of the divine love. Feel it flowing out your arms to the earth. You can visualize it as a golden pinkish color flowing out of your hands and surrounding the earth. Where there is injury, pardon. And feel the spirit of reconciliation and being a channel of divine forgiveness and divine reconciliation. Bless the earth with forgiveness, reconciliation, understanding, harmony, and peace. Where there is despair, hope, doubt, faith. Feel the divine hope and faith and allow yourself to be a channel of it. Bless the earth with hope and faith. And bless people who are having a difficult time with hope and faith. And silently tell them, you can make it. And give them this divine strength. Where there is darkness, light. Sadness, joy. You're a channel of divine light and joy. Bless people who are sad and depressed and in pain with divine light and joy. And visualize the aura of Earth becoming a dazzling golden pink. You can also send these blessings to a certain nation or group of nations. but don't send them to specific people. It's too much energy. Be aware of your crown center and silently say to yourself, from the center of the heart of God, let the entire earth be blessed with loving kindness. You're a channel of divine love and kindness. Let the entire earth be blessed with great joy and happiness. And visualize people smiling, their hearts filled with joy and happiness. Visualize people putting down their guns and dancing. From the center of the heart of God, let the entire earth be blessed with understanding, harmony, and divine peace. Visualize people no longer arguing, but shaking their hands and embracing each other as they realize we are all one. Treat your neighbor as thyself. Let the entire earth be blessed with goodwill and the will to do good. And imagine people not only filled with good intentions or talking about doing something good, but actually carrying out these intentions. The will to do good. Be aware of the crown of your head and your heart simultaneously. From the center of the heart of God, let the entire earth, every person, every being be blessed with divine love and kindness. With divine sweetness, divine joy, with warmness, caringness, and tenderness. From the center of the heart of God, let the entire earth, every single person and being, be blessed with inner healing, inner beauty, divine bliss, and divine oneness. Now, gently put your hands down and visualize a golden flame on your crown chakra. Beautiful, vibrant, golden flame. And look at it gently and lovingly. Feel the quality of the energy emitted by the light. Feel the inner peace, stillness, bliss emanating from the light. And while you visualize the golden flame, Gently and silently chant the mantra Om, or if you prefer, Amen. And I'll do a couple of them for you so you can see the length. So visualize the golden flame and silently chant with me. And be very aware of the interval between each Om, the silence between each Om. So you're aware of the Oms, simultaneously aware of the golden flame, and also the stillness and the bliss between each Om. Continue with your meditation. Relax and let go. Gently and lovingly return to your body. Return to your body now. And begin to wiggle your fingers a little bit. And now raise your hands, palms out in front of you again. Visualize the earth in front of your palms. And now we're going to release any excess energy in your system by blessing earth again. Let the entire earth be blessed with divine light, divine love, divine power. Let the whole earth be blessed with peace, order, spirituality, abundance, and prosperity. Let every person, every being, be blessed with happiness, good health, spirituality, and abundance. Blessings be to all. And now lower your hands again. And gently be aware of the soles of your feet and the base of your spine. And project your consciousness down into the earth and visualize a golden light descending into the earth, deep into the earth, about 10 feet below you. And bless the earth by saying, "Let Mother Earth be blessed with divine light, love, and power. Let Mother Earth be revitalized, healed, and regenerated. Blessings be to Mother Earth. I am connected and rooted to Mother Earth. To the Supreme God, we thank you for your divine blessings. To my spiritual teacher, to all the spiritual teachers, holy masters, all the saints, the archangels of the elements, guardian, angel, spiritual helpers, and all the great ones. We thank you all for your great, great blessings. Thank you.